Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far as the frustrations about Call of Duty Vanguard continue to mount. Parasite is calling out the pro players for being too terrified of losing their platform to stand up against the situation that is happening right now, saying that they should actually boycott the game and what could that potentially mean for the CDL going forwards. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do. Top of this channel reach new people, please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Kenny. When did Camo become a perk? This is you can't probably see it really on his version. There is a better one actually here from Octane. We'll have a look at it in a second. But this is in a scrim they played up against Method's team on Tuscan. They're trying to play a Tuscan hardpoint, and for whatever reason, this guy just straight up disappears. Like, he just goes invisible. I don't know how that's even possible, but yeah, apparently he goes invisible. I think on Octane's one, it's slightly clearer really, where you can see this guy runs around the corner and for whatever reason just disappears. You can see his name tag, at least right here in terms of Codcaster, but, or at least after the fact, but you simply cannot see where the guy actually is. So as Octane says, Hello is so godlike that we got Camo in Vanguard now. So I'm not sure what this glitch is. It seems like every single day there's new glitches coming out into the game, but yeah, this guy definitely should have been seen here, right? There's no way he should just not be there at all. So for some reason he's invisible. I don't know what's going on anymore. It just seems like new things happening every single day in Vanguard. Like you know, I can't wait for this stuff to happen in the CDL. Like we talked about with some of the issues in Cold War, right? Like what if that happens at Champs? No, there's certainly going to be stuff that happens at big CDL events this year that is kind of dodgy. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, but maybe not the best to play from the player's perspective. This is also from TJ. Bacage is better than Gavutu. That's some of the, well, at least people are talking about it right now. Like if there was a new map to come in, what would they get rid of? Would they get rid of Bacage? Would they get rid of Gavutu? Who really knows? But you know, maybe TJ is happy about this one if Bacage was to stay in the game, but Octane isn't necessarily happy about that opinion. Bacage might be the worst hardpoint map I've played in 7 years of professional Call of Duty. As JP says, you know, we're literally playing Nuketown, right? So Octane maybe not too scared about getting his pockets run on a fight on this front. Maybe this is reasonable, kind of walking the line in terms of what they're allowed to say. But as JP says, you know, we're literally playing Nuketown analysts for the subliners. I spotted in Yakety Sack starts playing in my head, right? This guy's absolutely out of control. I died to Fred 3 times in a row in the span of literally 10 seconds and just thought, yep, absolutely fantastic map we are playing right here. So yes, complaints every single day. You can certainly understand it, but Parasite would say that these guys are not doing enough to actually support the future of the competitive scene. This also, I just thought I'd mention it from Jake Lucky because we talked about this really on the Valorant side, that they were doing these skins that they released into the game. I'm pretty sure the prize pool for the Valorant champions was only like $1 million, but they got way more than that just in sales of these skins. The skins were super expensive, but they made $15 million just off selling these skins in the game. $7.5 million of that goes all the way back to the players. Maybe the organizations will take like a 20% cut, but the players get so much of this. I don't know how much the players get each. I'm not exactly sure what the calculation is, but it's in the tens of thousands of dollars probably each of the players at champions just from this activation that they've done right here. So it just does make you think, wow, that's fair enough, right? Maybe something like that in Call of Duty could work very well indeed, given the amount of players that actually play the game. But for some reason, crowdfunding just does not seem to be an option for the Call of Duty League right now. Maybe it'll happen in the future, but this is just another one of those frustrations. You look at other games, what they're up to, and what the Call of Duty League is doing, and you think, wow, okay, maybe there's a bit of a gap here that we could potentially fill in the future. Now, well, Parasite certainly had some opinions on this one. So anyway, there was the flank that went on last night. We looked at the clip at the end of yesterday's video. I played it as an outro clip just because it was hilarious, with Parasite complaining in the background and Doug Martin doing the pull-ups. But there was actually some interesting points being made by Parasite here, really, where he goes on to say, look, right now, a lot of these pro players, they look at the game, they look at the scene, they know it's in a bad state, they see my tweets, that being Parasite's tweets, and they talk to him in their DMs and say, okay, yeah, I super agree with what you're saying here, like you're bang on the right lines, but yet they don't actually do anything active, right? They don't go out there and say, yes, we're going to boycott the league, we're not going to play the CDL this season, and that's going to apparently make Activision and the CDL do something. I'm not sure I buy that line of reasoning, but I can kind of understand his perspective and his frustration that the pro players seem to kind of say stuff on the tunnel and tweet some stuff out, but yet they don't actually take any action to try and fix any of this stuff. In reality, though, what could they realistically do? I'll play the clip.
Yeah, yo, hit the pull-ups real quick.
I don't care if we have a platform now. I'm not on the show. I love the show. I'm grateful for what you guys do, and it's awesome. But I'm saying we have more than enough reach to sit there and say all the that we want to get out there. But clearly, it's not being heard. So can we do something about it?
And that's,
can we just not play? Can we just not play? I don't care how many people get fined. Do something. Unify. Where's the players union? Where the is this?
And that's
you guys literally sit here and say you guys all better for COD, but none of you guys do anything besides sit there and not talk about it, or you sit there and still continue to grind through the year. When I have pro players, every time I tweet something, they sit there and they go into my DMs and they tell me how much they can relate to me and relate to my statements, but they can't say anything. But the only point I've been trying to make is everyone sits there and wants to say they care, and they sit there and act like they care. But if you don't actually do anything to fucking try to better,
give me names.
If you don't actually sit there and
wakes.
If you don't actually sit there and do everything in your power to try to make things better, then you don't care.
Here's a good thought.
What happens if players do that and then they snap their fingers and go all in Warzone League, competitive COD is done? We're already such a minuscule portion of the league. So what do you want to do? Speed up the process?
And that's problem.
Pockets over
and that's the problem in the mentality of all these players is because everyone is so
that was funny. Guys, let Chris go.
Everyone is so terrified of that happening that instead of literally using your platform to try to better the scene, or you're using your following and all that to try to do something, the influence that you carry, you're just terrified and you just rather sit there, watch it burn, and suck it up.
The way Activision works,
it's stupid.
You're just like it's sad, it's super sad. But the way it works is the more you do now that isn't gonna affect anything, it's just putting yourself in a worse position later. That's the sad reality of it. That's truly the sad reality.
So it's an interesting take if the players were to boycott the league, but the problem is that they're not really hurting Activision. Like, if you boycott the league, you're only really hurting your organizations, right? Like, I don't know even how that would look, to be honest. Like, some teams just decide, okay, we're not going to play this season, the game's too bad, we get no support, we're just going to strike effectively and not do our jobs and not play the game. And, it's also a disservice to the fans, right, who want to watch the action, but at the same time, is it actually going to mean anything happen? That's the thing at the end of the day. From my perspective, if they were to do that and just say, okay, stage 1 or something, we're just not going to play. We're not going to play stage 1. Like, we refuse to play. We're going to band together, unionize, and say, look, we're not playing any matches this stage. Now, first of all, mainly that hurts the fans. It also hurts the organizations they compete for. Does it hurt Activision? Not really, right? They don't make any much money from this. They've already got the money coming in from the organizations anyway, so that, their pockets are lined regardless. And they would probably welcome that, to be honest, because they have to put on less money to actually run these tournaments. They cost them a lot of money to run. They have to, don't have to worry about that anymore. And then they can say, look, okay, let's just go to a Warzone league because these players don't want to play anyway. So, as Aches was kind of suggesting at the end there, like, if you were to do this, it's just accelerating the scene's demise and accelerating the demise of some of these pro players. Like, I understand, right? If you're a pro player, like, you want to actually make the most of the opportunity while the league is still around, right? You don't want this league to die and disappear in like 2 years when you might have a career for another 5-6 years at competing in competitive play. And, obviously it doesn't make any sense to do that. So I can understand the frustrations from Parasite. I just don't think that is a realistic option, right? Now, what actually does help provide a solution here, it's very difficult to say. I think that generally the competitive scene has tried, the pro players have tried to get the word out about some of the issues in the game. I don't think there's necessarily been, I think, like, a players union that brought up some sort of document that could go to the CDL and potentially even to Activision and say, look, this is what we think needs changing here. Like, maybe that'll help. But if Activision, like, if their focus is elsewhere on Warzone and what's actually making them the most money, and they don't really care about competitive Call of Duty, I'm not really sure in reality what's going to happen. It seems to me that there are some people at the CDL that generally care and are generally interested in the betterment of competitive Call of Duty and want this league to succeed, as I'm sure they might do if they work for the CDL. They probably want the league to succeed. Maybe they don't have the support from Activision, maybe they don't have the knowledge and the infrastructure of how the community works to make intelligent decisions. I'm not really sure, but I'm not sure a boycott of the league is actually going to help, get to those ends. Just thought this was funny because, TacticalRab Academy don't miss, going from Cold War to Vanguard, it's someone Lingard Edio on for Ronaldo. Just something I thought those of you who follow football might find relatively entertaining. But, like Vanguard, it's maybe not the greatest title we've ever seen in my life. This also from Crimsix, though, there was a couple of funny things that came up from his stream last night, which, is really no surprise. But, upon hearing the announcement, some kind words to my good friend Slack, right? So he's taking the mic really out of Slack here. He goes on to go to the Warzone side, as we looked at yesterday. As Crimsix says, before, people start calling me this type of stuff, I think it's fair to say. I'd also, think it's fair to say that Josiah's making a smart decision to go over to Warzone and the content side. Also, I thought I'd play this back to back as well, which is Crimsix impersonating Cellium. I honestly thought this impersonation was particularly good. This guy's been incredibly entertaining on stream the last few days. And that's the thing, like, if these guys boycott the game or don't play it, like, we don't get any of these great personality moments that really is the lifeblood of Call of Duty competitive.
Yeah. Porter, that one thing you did of Cellium was so funny, bro.
Dude. Yeah, it's like right here. Yo, Ender. It's me, Cell. Yo, show me your cack. That's literally what he sounds like, bro.
This guy's a moron.
Dude. Okay, 2 things. Number 1, let's have a moment of silence for Slacked. He pretty much gave up today and moved on from competitive Call of Duty in a very cowardly fashion. And I think we should give him about, a moment of silence. All right, that's it. That's all he deserves. Anyways, with that being said, the second thing.
I also thought this was funny as well from Attach about to scrim. Look what Doug said to Martin Starter, right? So it's Standy, with the shirt off, right? He's going hard as he can. Like, maybe this is the factor, right, to competing at a very high level. No, I thought this was funny, Crimsix and Attach. We all want a thick 6 shirtless stream down. I mean, Starter goes, no, we do not want that. But, you never know, right? Maybe that's the play. If Doug is allowed to not have his shirt on the main stage, then I guess all the other players also, can have their shirt off on the main stage as well if they would like to. And, yeah, maybe that would be something to see, something to behold with thick 6 if he whips it out as well. But yeah, maybe not something we have to worry about for this season if the players all boycott it. But frankly, I don't think that's going to happen. Just wanted to say this as well because it's from Jensor Cellium's former girlfriend, I guess. Maybe she's dating Standy right now. I'm not really sure what goes on with these type of people. But this, we used to be a proper country. Like I actually went to Anaheim in 2019. It was a good time. But I mean, look at this, right? This is when MLG and the boys used to actually run the events. And look how beautiful this is. Like the opening venue had all the banners on the right hand side of all the teams that have won the previous events. Like these are some of the pools, for example, with like all these rosters and organizations. G2 were involved. Player, like an open bracket team would come through as well. And then like this, for example, the World Championship in 2018 during the World War II season with all these teams in attendance, obviously. And I mean, yeah, just good times. Like I guess you just don't know what the good times are before you've left them because it certainly seems like we're leaving that behind at this point or another. And just given we were talking about all those organizations wanting to get involved in it, well, at least in the CWL in the past, seems like another load of organizations are looking to get involved in Halo. And who can really blame them right now? So you've got Rise, potentially Misfits, Vitality, XZ version 1, TSM 100 Thieves, LG, EG, and also T1, all potentially interested in getting in. Some of these orgs maybe are interested in getting into Call of Duty, but Halo is probably the more attractive option right now, a lot of people would say. Very much intrigued to your thoughts though in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting that like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and also like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.